What's up guys, Daniel Nix here. This is my first photo editing tutorial, and we're gonna basically go over a style of editing that is similar to HDR and kind of show you my process of how I get my photos to turn out the way they do. So the first thing I like to do is I throw it in my camera raw, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to separate the background from the subject, because naturally your camera can only expose for one shot at a time. So that's either the person or the background, depending on what's going on. I didn't have any lighting here in this scenario, so I'm going to go ahead and drop down the exposure a little bit and get that sky looking exactly how I want to, and just completely disregard the subject. Alright. So I could warm it up or I could cool it down, but I think I like the cool look. So I'm gonna go with that cool look here, and looks good to me. I don't really need to worry about the shadows because I'm not gonna be working with that point. Mostly working with the stuff up here in the sky, making sure it looks as close as it did the day I was actually there. Alright, and then I'm gonna mess with the vibrance here. Vibrance is gonna basically boost the saturation without distorting the colors. Okay, so this looks pretty decent to me. So now I'm gonna go ahead and open this image in Photoshop and hit Command J and just duplicate that there, so I have that. Now I'll go back here to my original photo and drop this in Photoshop again. So we'll just start again from the default here, and this time I'm gonna focus on everything else, the rocks here a little bit, and then myself. So let's go ahead and get this exposure how I want it, get it looking good, and I want to just warm this up a little bit. Feel like it was a little bit warmer when I was there. And something I'm starting to see already here is looks like some chromatic aberration. So this green stuff right here, nobody likes that. So I'm gonna go over here into my tools. Here it is. Camera calibration. No, it's one of these. It's been a while. Okay, remove chromatic aberration. Here we go. So that helps tremendously right there. That's gonna save the day. Oh, let me make sure it looks like we still have a little bit of green over here, so I'm just gonna scrub through this a little bit until I can figure out how to get rid of it. Okay, that's a heck of a lot better. It's not perfect, but okay. So let me just go back out here. Fit in view. Okay. So like I said, I'm just gonna get that nice warm tone. I'm gonna pull out the shadows because I don't really like to have any blacks when I do these kind of edits here. And that looks about right to me. I like how that looks. And now I'm gonna go in here, since I did bump up the shadows, I'm gonna do the noise reduction on the luminance, just a tad. Okay, looks good to me. And I'm gonna go ahead and open her up. Once again, I'm gonna hit that Command J once this pops up and duplicate it. So this is kind of like a HDR technique without actually doing HDR. When you do HDR, you have to shoot the different shots, but there's enough range in camera raw for me to be able to do this. Okay, I did that, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and get a generic one as well, because I like to work with 3. Go ahead and pull this in again and just kind of do auto and see what the auto thinks. Here. This looks like the average picture. Go ahead and take that. And, okay. And then again, I'm going to hit Command J and then drag the photo onto my main timeline that I'm working with. Awesome. Okay, so now that we have this, I'm just going to combine the top and the bottom. So what I want to do is take this image and go my top image, and I need to cut myself out because if not, my head's going to be cut off from the other side. So I'll go to Filter and then I'll go to my Topaz Labs, and if you don't have this program, you can download a demo of it. If you do a lot of photo editing, I would suggest going ahead and getting it. It's a great program. Now I'm just going to follow this rock border here, and basically this blue color that I'm working with now is going to be my border. So I'm going to create this, and once I do that, I'll do a fill on the outside. All the negative space will be in red, and everything I want to keep will be in green. And this works really good for hair, and it's just a really awesome tool. I'm going to go ahead and speed up this video, and then I'll explain the computing part here in a minute. Okay, now that I've got it all outlined, I'm going to go over here to my fill, and just everything I don't want is going to be in red. Even these little details, and this is tedious work, I know, but this is what you have to do to get the good stuff. So now that I've done that, this is my rough. I'll hit compute, and that'll go ahead and make my mask. So you can see everything I want to keep is right here. Since I want to be able to blow this image up and make it look good, I'm just going to do one last sweep over here. So everything in white is what I'm keeping, and everything black is what I don't want. So if I go over to my red right here, or you can hit W on the keyboard, you can just kind of write in here, and the computer is smart, and it'll see what I'm selecting. So I'm just going to tighten up this border a little bit. These small details are what matter. If you don't do this correctly, or you don't take the time to learn how to do it right, your image is just not going to be the best it can be. And that's what I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys how to get the best you can out of your photos. I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up now that you kind of understand what's going on, and then we'll talk about the next process. I always like to save myself by saving my mask that I just made. So I'm going to go ahead and save my mask in here. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Mask 1. And that way, if I ever need to come back in here and make adjustments, I don't have to do that again, and I can apply this to other photos. So I think this looks good. You can see what I've cut out here and what I've kept, and then you just hit OK. And that just pops it right into the program. So I'm going to go ahead and mute this bottom track here. Now, I don't like to delete anything. I like to work in a way where I can non-destructive, let's say that. Okay, so we have this. Obviously this doesn't look great yet, but there's a couple techniques that we'll use to blend the images together. So I'll go ahead and duplicate this image here, the background image. I'm going to throw it on top right here, and I'll take my eraser tool and put the opacity about 40% and go ahead and just paint in my difference here. Now I'm going to go ahead and cancel out a little bit of this area right here, blend it in. Just use the eraser tool, blend this in here. Okay. Continue blending this in. Go ahead and blend in around these rocks a little bit too. I want it to look as natural as possible, but there's a little bit of details that you just have to think about as far as which way the sun's coming and the direction. So I really like the fact that you can see this leg here, but I need to darken this up, so I'm just gonna paint that in a little bit, and then the same on this cap. I'm gonna paint that in. Now it's gonna look like the sun is coming across the front portion there. And I can darken up back area here. Now I've got this more natural feel going on. Don't want to accidentally take out the gold that I had in there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate one of these lower images I have, and as you can see, I'm kind of just blending all these in together, trying to get a good feel. I'll go ahead and duplicate it and just paint in until I'm happy. Which the sky, I'm really happy with how the sky looks. So I actually could just do full 100% up here. Now I'm gonna go down to about 38. I want to keep these rocks as much as possible. But now that I've blended things together on the previous layers, I can be a little bit more careful about what I do. So for instance, I can see this little ray of light right here, so I want to pretend like this ray is coming on right here. So I'm going to do a little circle around this area. So now you can see this little tiny, it's very subtle, but this is the kind of stuff that can just change the way your image comes out. I'm just going to go down a little bit more, because now we're just getting into the details. Okay, I like how that turns out. So that's our first step right there. Now I'm going to hit Command Option Shift E, and that's going to create a stamp. So now we have a stamp of the image, and I hit J because I want to duplicate it, and I'll go up and take the top one to Other and do a high pass filter. Now this high pass filter, and just stay around about 3 pixels, and then go up to your blending options and hit Overlay. So what this is doing, if you can see, is this is taking the whole image and sharpen it as a whole. And I do this because we've done a lot of compositing and I want it to all blend well. So I'll hit Command Option Shift E again, and now I can just delete these. I don't need them anymore. But so now I'm just working with a single image. I'm still not 100% happy with how natural it's looking. So I'm going to go ahead and take my original golden image that I had and work with it a little bit. I think I want a little bit more gold going on, so I'm going to throw this back into Camera Raw real quick. So filter and just do Camera Raw. Now I'm going to do a gradient up here from the bottom. Just warm this puppy up. Go and pull the shadows out a little bit. There we go. That should give me the golden fill that I'm looking for more. Now I'll just go back to my eraser mode. Like I said, I'm really happy with how the top looks right now. So I'll just delete that. Now I'm going to be careful with the rest of this and drop it down to about 20%. Now we're just going to go in these details. So everything I've done has been non-destructive. I'm still going to have this little ray of light that I made earlier. It's just kind of getting those fine details in there, making it, shaping it how you want it to look. Love how those rocks look. Now, one of the problems I'm running into now is I think that my head and my whole body is a little bit too bright. So we're just gonna darken that up just a little bit. So we had this image down here at the bottom that was a little bit darker. I'll throw that on top, and we'll just do the same thing. Start erasing. I already like how the top looks, so I'm gonna keep that. Now just drop it down a little bit. Now as I paint over my body, it's going to brighten it. So I just want to be careful. Everything that I'm painting right now is going to get brighter. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this looks right now. So some of my final touches, I'm going to hit Command Option Shift E, and now I can just mute everything, duplicate this track, and I'm going to go and do a gradient map. Once I do that, I'll hit this drop down menu and go to photographic toning, and select that, and that's going to be gradients for photographs. I'm going to select through here and find something that has a lot of curve to it, something that's pretty dramatic, and I'm going to keep in mind I'm only going to use this for the edges. So I'm going to look through there, and this looks pretty good. Happy with that. I'll go ahead and Command Option Shift E again, create that. Now I can delete it. Now I'm going to blend these two images together, and this is going to be a very, very subtle piece of the pie here. So I'll go to about 40%. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint in my natural colors, basically just deleting everything on this layer. Okay. All right. Well, that looks pretty good to me. So if you have any questions, just submit your questions in the comment section, and I'll try to get back to you. Thank you.